Oh my God, if I die, I'm a legend. When they lay me down to rest, I know I was always repping.
What is up again, guys? I'm back with another video, and sorry it's been so long. I won't be up the video that I did with Joseph the other day. I won't be uploading that because somehow my microphone audio got turned off somehow, and I've been trying to figure out what's been happening, and now I know what's happening. It's because the microphone was turned off in the Bandicam area. So we'll have to start over with the video. Yeah. But anyway, today I'm doing a little bit of a different video. Today I'm doing try not to get scared challenge, and these are a bunch of little animation thingies that I guess this creator, there's a bunch of people that actually have their own scary stories they have to tell you that are real, I guess. So those people sent their videos or their story to an animator, and they made up an animated version of their story that goes along with it or whatever. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let's get right into it. Gosh. Also, sorry if it's lagging too.
I was out doing a delivery one late night. It was probably the longest drive I have ever taken for a pizza delivery.
Also, guys, I recommend not doing this, watching this kind of stuff at nighttime. I recommend of you guys watching this during daytime. Otherwise, you're gonna get scared somehow during nighttime. Something's gonna scare you. Something might happen. Like literally might happen, even though people don't believe in scary things. You never know. So yeah, I also talk about you, Joseph, because I know you get scared easily. So that's why Joseph, do not watch this at night, unless you do decide to do it.
From the pizza place I worked at, it was a 20-minute drive, which isn't too crazy out where I live.
Mario.
Plus, they ordered 4 large pies, so I figured it was a party and I would get a much bigger tip. Navigating the dirt roads at night was always annoying, though. I pulled up to the given address. It was some old, sketchy-looking building, literally in the middle of a forest clearing. There were no cars parked anywhere, or any lights on. I put my car in park and called my boss. I asked him to reread the address at least 3 times to make sure I typed it in right, but that checked out. I could tell he was in a really bitchy mood, and he told me to at least knock on the door and check it out. He would normally get mad if we took back 1 pie, but I was afraid of what he would do if I brought back 4.
Excuse the language.
I was insanely unnerved, but got out anyway and forced myself to the front door of the building. There was no doorbell, so I just knocked really hard. I heard nothing and didn't really expect to hear anything. I was extremely disappointed, not because nobody answered the door, but because I was realizing that it was all a waste of time and gas. I knocked one more time out of desperation, and then began to hear some kind of rustling noises from inside of the building. I knocked again and yelled that I was the pizza guy. There was silence now. I felt a bit more uncomfortable now than before. But before I could turn around, I noticed something at the window. There was someone looking through the window. I couldn't tell if it was a man or a woman. All I noticed were their eyes. Their eyes were open wider than possible.
No!
Staring
That is creepy!
at me. I was disturbed enough by this and dropped the pizzas and ran back to my car.
Out of here. Get out of there.
The shitty thing wouldn't start until turning the key for the 3rd time. I drove off the grass and back onto the dirt road, but I felt the car rocking about, shaking and bumping. Something wasn't right. I didn't make it far from the building before I started hearing a sharp scraping sound coming from outside. There was so much resistance that I couldn't even
loud.
drive. The car came to a stop. I got out of the car to check what the hell was wrong. A chill ran up my spine
It
as I
literally just
began to
hurts.
feel like my heart was constantly skipping beats. My tires had been slashed and had completely fallen off the rim. Not just the front though. All 4 tires were slashed. I realized somebody did this when I was knocking on the door to that building. Instead of running, I got back in the car and locked the doors. I was so close to that building, I could practically see it from where I was, if it weren't for the trees blocking the view. I dialed 911 and explained everything to the operator. She told me the cops would be over as soon as possible and that I need to stay hidden. I asked her if it was advisable to stay in the car or run, and she told me it would be best to stay in the car with the door locked. She asked me to stay on the line with her until the cops arrived. My whole body was shaking. In all directions, there was nothing but dark, seemingly endless forest. I knew it would take forever for the cops to get there. I was not comfortable with sitting in that car so close to whoever did this. The next part, though, is what utterly destroyed me. It still shakes me to this day, and I hope nobody ever has to experience this kind of fear. As I was scanning all the windows, making sure nobody was outside, I looked in the rearview mirror, and there was the same person. The same person I saw at that window. Eyes open wider than ever. I could see now that it was a woman, and I could ever so slightly see a smile begin to spread across her face. I opened my door and full-on sprinted into the woods, not caring how much noise I made. I ran until I was out of breath, which didn't take long, and I hid behind a giant log on the ground. I tried to cover my loud breathing with my hand as I waited and waited for what felt like hours until I finally heard sirens in the distance.
Yes.
I gathered up all the stamina I had left to run all the way back in the direction of the dirt road. Eventually, the glowing red and blue lights came into view, and I had never felt better in my life. They were parked in front of my car, investigating with flashlights. I came out yelling at them like a lunatic to help me. I fell to the floor and started to gag, almost throwing up from running so much. They picked me up and began to question me, to which I explained everything to the best of my ability. One of the 2 cars drove over to the building, and the 2 officers began to search the building. They came back with nothing except for a couple of spiky objects. These objects were exactly the same as the ones used to slash my tires. The cops guessed that it was some kind of sick, demented couple, being that I saw the woman, but unfortunately they were never found. And that still kills me to this day.
I hope it does.
I obviously quit my job right after that and started working at a local grocery store.
Or whatever.
I know that I'll never forget seeing that woman.
Why is there no one in the store? Okay, that in the back, that looks creepy.
Someone out there is killing puppets. We're gonna catch the person who did these murders. I think I found the murder weapon.
Gotta be kidding me. Wait, sorry for the ad. You saw what I saw, right? Go back.
To the best of my ability, one of the 2 cars drove. Objects were exactly the same.
He's pointing!
I'll never forget.
Okay, guys. If you guys see the cursor, the mouse cursor, watch right here.
Seeing that woman at the back of my car.
See, right there. What the heck? Hope this is still
I recently moved out, and I already have a horror story to tell. The house I moved into is
Please, it doesn't have to be with the pool.
It's just a house that's appropriate for 1 or 2
I hope it's
people.
not about the pool.
But I'd say right away, I started hearing weird sounds coming from inside the walls. I first heard it in the kitchen, and then in the bathroom, but on night 3, I started hearing it in my bedroom. I was sure there was some kind of animal living in my walls. I just had to figure out how to get rid of it. The next morning, I didn't even have enough milk to fill the story to tell. The house I moved into, I chalked it up as my mind playing tricks on me as some kind of animal living in my wall. Milk to fill the bowl of cereal. I couldn't believe I hadn't realized I needed more milk. In fact, I seemed to be eating up all of my food pretty fast. I woke up in the middle of that night to the sound of breathing. Not my breathing. It sounded just like the breathing of a person. I flipped the lamp on and it stopped. I chalked it up as my mind playing tricks on me after waking up. The next day was really hot, so I turned on the AC for the first time. I checked every single vent, and some of them weren't blowing any air, one of them being the vent right next to my bed. I peered through the vent with a flashlight. There wasn't even a duct behind the vent. It was just the inside of the wall. It seemed that whatever air duct was in there had been removed. Unfortunately, I didn't look into the air conditioning system while buying the house, so I didn't know about this. That night, I had to sleep in the heat with no AC, so I was up pretty late, constantly rolling around and flipping the pillow over. Then I eventually started to hear the breathing again, but this time I was fully awake. I knew it was real this time.
You bet it is.
It was coming to my left. I looked to my left at the air vents. The sound was surely coming from in there. I grabbed the flashlight again and shined it in through the vent. I dropped it and screamed. There was someone's face peering through the cracks of the vents. The first thing I saw were their eyes, open wide and glowing. I screamed all the way down and out the house.
You better.
I soon found out there was a crazy, dangerous homeless man living in my walls, and he had been eating my food ever since I moved in.
Like, at least it was a homeless man, not a psycho, ghost, or whatever. I don't like true hunting stories.
I was doing some night hog hunting in the woods near my backyard. I was hiding in the tower I had built about a decade ago.
In
case anyone's wondering, I of course had a night vision scope attachment. I guess I'm what you would consider a hardcore hunter. I don't want to bore you with the unnecessary story prolonging details, so I'll make this short. And I want everyone to know that though I agree this story sounds far-fetched and crazy, it is nothing but the truth. And I in a way actually consider myself lucky that I'll always have such a horrifying story to share. So, while I was sitting in the tower waiting for movement, it finally came. I took aim and found the source. But it wasn't at all a hog, or any kind of animal I was expecting. It was a person, a man wearing all black. Black sweatpants, black shoes, and a black hoodie with the hood over his head. But that wasn't the freakiest part. He was dragging a sack behind him. My heart started racing. I was pretty sure I was witnessing this guy trying to bury a body. I continued to watch him, but then he slowed down, and I swear to God, it looked as if he turned his head up to me. I ducked down under the wooden walls of the tower, shaking in my boots. Yes, I had a gun, but just the idea of using it against a person is horrifying. I lay low, praying to God that he hadn't seen me. It wouldn't make sense if he could, though. It's practically pitch black out here, or at least that was my logic. Seconds felt like an eternity as I waited for the footsteps in the leaves to move elsewhere, but I didn't hear any footsteps. All I heard was the sound of a foot hitting one of the wooden planks on the ladder of the tower. I felt the entire tower vibrate and shake as there were 2 more steps moving up the ladder. At this point, I was asking myself deep down, am I going to be able to shoot someone?
Yes!
But for some reason, whoever was down there decided not to climb all the way up, as I heard them jump back down to the forest ground and began dragging the sack away. I think I stayed frozen like a statue for at least 10 minutes before even peeking over the ledge again. The coast seemed clear. I had to get home and warn the police immediately. I hopped over the ledge and descended down the ladder. I turned on my pocket flashlight, which in hindsight was a stupid move considering the situation, and ran back in the direction of my house. I was only able...
See, that is the stupidest move ever, because if you see something suspicious like that, and you run fast as you can with a gun or something, and a flashlight, shining all over the place like you're like a weirdo, that person or thing is gonna see you and come after you. Literally, that's the stupidest move ever.
Able to run for about 10 seconds or so when I heard the rapid, manic footsteps crunching the leaves from behind. I think I stayed frozen like a statue for at least 10 minutes before even peeking over the ledge again.
I don't like that part.
The coast seemed clear. I had to get home and warn the police immediately. I hopped over the ledge and descended down the ladder. I turned on my pocket flashlight, which in hindsight was a stupid move considering the situation, and ran back in the direction of my house. I was only able to run for about 10 seconds or so when I heard the rapid, manic footsteps crunching the leaves from behind me. I took a look over my shoulder, and there he was, inches away from my face. I spun around and shot him in the shoulder. He stopped and screamed in agony, and I took that moment to finish my dash to my house.
No, you should have shot him again!
I should have held him hostage somehow.
Yeah.
But that doesn't even matter now. I called the police, who showed up within 15 minutes with a whole search squad, and I led them all into the woods to the exact location where I shot him. There was a faint yet noticeable blood trail spilled onto the leaves, which led past the body bag, which the cops seized, and eventually right to the maniac, who was hiding under a log next to a tree. He was arrested and tried for the murder of Jin Kwen-sak.
Murder in the Woods, The Daily Drifter. In other news, there isn't any.
Takanaki, a Japanese corner store owner. I don't know the full story behind it, but I do know I won't forget this one for the rest of my life, and I'll also be telling it for the rest of my life.
Yep. Okay, guys, I'm gonna end it right here. As you can see, it is like 56 minutes long, and I don't want to take a lot of space for this video because I have my new intro. I have 2 of the other videos right here, and I have the outro, which that's 4 thingies. I don't want to take too much of space, so I'm just gonna make this a part 1, and I'll do a part 2 some other point. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, subscribe, and also if you guys watch any of these videos kind of like this, or unanimated ones, please stay safe, because you don't know if these might happen. If you watch these during nighttime, you might not know if something's watching you, or something happens in the house, or wherever you are. So yeah, see you guys in the next video. Bye!
Same stuff, never changed up. Taking shots, get your aim up. Wanna play, get your game up. And I see you hating, so you know I gotta ask. You mad, bro? Yeah. I said, tell me what you mad for. You mad, bro? Yo. I said, tell me what you mad for. You mad, bro? Yo. I said, tell me what you mad for.